week. So, and then you go on Facebook and then complain about corporations taking over stuff. Anyway, um, stop thinking that you flexing.
This girl is so lost. He received $4 million in donations in 24 hours the minute they announced the indictment. Honey, you think that's a flex? You're paying a billionaire's legal fees? The guy owns 19 golf courses, countless properties, and instead of selling off just one thing, he's begging y'all for money. And you send it to him. I mean, I can't. And I'm lost. He shits on a golden toilet while you're working 2 jobs and you're sending him money. I shouldn't laugh, honestly, because it's sad. It's like when he said he was going to build a wall and get Mexico to pay for it. I'm going to commit crimes, and when it's time for me to get indicted, my minions are going to pay for it. That's $4 million y'all could have donated to veterans or the homeless. But who am I to tell you what to do with your hard-earned money? As a matter of fact, I'm going to give Jeff Bezos a call. I'm going to see if there's anything he needs help with that I can, contribute to. I love how you think this is something to brag about. You're bragging about getting duped. It looks like you guys believe in socialism after all. I can't. Bye. Oh, man. Can't make this shit up.
I saw things shaking his
fact.
head. All of
I
it.
mean, it's all fact.
He needs my money.
But they're funding the hate. They're funding the hate. He is their warrior. He is their fighter, and then that's what they're investing in.
He's their
They
Messiah.
That's
period. He's their Messiah. Period. Like, they don't even logically think about it. I'm like, think about it. He says he's a billionaire, but he needs your money.
to stay a billionaire.
Stay a billionaire.
I'm sorry, Marlon, go ahead.
I apologize. This is the mentality of them and people who may not even be right wingers. That you feel like, because I'm talking about Jeff Bezos and all those people, those billionaires, you really just feel like if you are in the in crowd, which you will never be, because unless you become a billionaire, you will never be the in crowd. But you feel like if you are a part,
unless you're a Supreme Court justice,
unless you're a Supreme Court justice, unless you are a part of something, you follow them on Twitter, you feel like you are part of something. That something, and it sounds crazy, I know, but you feel like something is going to rub off on you. That something that they've done that's so magnificent in your eyes without realizing that the billionaires and the millionaires that you realize pull themselves up by the bootstraps actually did not pull themselves up by the bootstraps. This is generational money. You just happen to be discovering it now. But still, that you feel like
it's part of that evangelism stuff.
You feel like if you are part of it, you will become it. That's a better way of saying it. If you are a part of it, you will become it. Even though you have no track record, no evidence of one person who's done it.
But you know what, Marlon? That's why the faith community was perfect for the dupe. And that's what Trump did. a lot of his money, like his grassroots support, are just like a lot of them anyway, are either connected people or really poor white people with the aspiration thing like you're talking about.
Yeah.
But his money, a lot of it is coming from the faith community on that side, on the conservative side. He acts like a televangelist for them in a way. And they've been perfectly groomed for the dupe. They've been groomed to believe in things they can't see, touch, or feel. They've been groomed to look for a leader who talks powerful and confident. These are the things, regardless of what side you sit on, if you're a religious person, you grow up with these things. So you're naturally in tune to it. So if he also can then touch on your grievances and your fears, oh, he's got you. And so they give money. Like, did y'all see when Lindsey Graham went on TV looking like a broke Trump
Crying?
Yeah.
You need to send
But
money to
didn't-
Donald Trump.
But it was like, if you turn on the Christian Broadcasting Network, that's the kind of theatrics that you
literally had
oftentimes
tears.
see.
You got
But
it
here's
from,
the
they got it
thing.
from Fannie Mae. They got it from Fannie Mae. Fannie Mae had no problem. Not Fannie Mae.
All of them.
What was the lady?
Tammy.
Tammy
something.
Faye Baker.
Tammy Faye Baker,
Yeah.
who had no problem whatsoever knowing that she gonna put on like 10 tons of makeup so you can see the tears rolling down her face, making her look like a sad clown because she such believes in what
But
she
that's
But
my
here's
point.
the thing, though, that I
They've
think
been
we're-
groomed for it.
Here's the thing that I think we're missing. And I had this same conversation when I put up a little thing about, Trump's you're illogical if you give to this person. I've had people literally say to me on the Trump side, well, he's smart because he's using my money instead of his. I'm like, did you just hear
Yes.
yourself? Did you just literally hear?
They don't
Did you
hear
hear yourself?
Oh,
You seen like when Jordan Klepper will have these conversations with these people? Now, granted, it's heavily edited, right? So he's probably talked to 30 people, and here are the 6 idiots. I get that. But they're still real people. And it'll say dumb stuff like, I can't even come up with one that's dumb enough for it. But
Obama had
he'll
something to do
basically
with
say,
9/11.
he's like, well, that's so crazy that can't. That's what I heard one on. He was like, that's so crazy that can't be true, can it? And they're like, no, that is, yeah. He's like, it's so crazy, it can't be true. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't hear themselves. They
That's
just
like if you could
repeat.
just hear yourself. If you could hear yourself, and I think that's something I miss all the time. Because I don't hear what I'm saying. I'm just saying it, but I don't hear it. And then when I go back in here, I'm like, ooh, no, I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
That's not what I meant.
And that's what happens. You get caught up in the moment, and you're reacting. And
But
Trump
when
is good at putting you into the
But
moment.
they aren't even.
And-
The logical
Wait a
steps
minute,
is
wait a
if
minute.
this man is a billionaire, if I gotta work 2 jobs, why I'm gonna take my hard-earned money, give it to him? He a billion. He got. First
That's
of
not
all,
how
the
they think about
Republican,
it.
the
Because
Republican National Convention is paying for his legal fees anyway. Can we just all say that? You got a whole
Because you're
party
looking at
paying
it
one
laterally.
person's legal fee.
you're doing the right thing, Tracy. Exactly what you're saying. I'm working 2 jobs. Why would I give a billionaire money? Blah blah blah, and everything else. They're not looking at that. My leader needs help, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to help him.
But he says he has money. Why he need my help? It's like ask yourself that question.
You're not.
I hate to see people
My
get
leader
suckered out of
needs
their
help.
money because it's so hard to come by. That's what I
To
hate.
ask that
That's what I
question,
hate.
Tracy, to ask that question would be to sow disbelief or doubt.
Exactly.
And you can't allow that.
And
You
cannot
can't
do
allow that. If you begin to doubt, you can create a cascading effect where you're no longer faithful. You're no longer truly a believer.
Yeah, that's
right?
what-
And this
what
is
Pastor
about a
said.
movement. This is
It's blind.
religious.
It's blind faith.
It's blind faith,
It's the
but-
equivalent of saying, I know what I know about this person. I
Only I
agree,
alone can
and
fix
I
it.
love what this person is doing. I didn't say like. I love what this person is doing. And I know he has the power to achieve the things that I want to happen. So for that to happen, I'm not looking at how much money he got. The only time I look at how much money he got is when I have to brag about, well, if he was so stupid, look at how much money he got. But when I in that argument, all I'm looking at
He
is
can do better with it than I
and I'm
can.
going to do whatever it takes to help him.
Yeah, he can do
No, he
better
can
with
do
the
better with it
dollars
than
that
I
I've
can.
worked for working at Uber and the daycare. Sure, he
Yes,
lives in
because Tracy,
Mar-a-Lago, a big old mansion.
Tracy,
But
here's the
hey,
logic. Tracy, here's the logic. He gets money and he builds an empire. He has a building with his name on it. He has a plane with his name on it. He has properties around the world. He was a president. He's got everybody looking to him. All my friends and all my family is looking to him. All of these things. I get $1 and I need more dollars. So
that's what I'm saying.
he
You
can
have
do
so few of
more,
those dollars.
but
Keep them.
but it shows that he is, because we've moralized money, and money means favor. It means blessings. It means all these things. So he is blessed because he has money. And if I help take care of the blessed one, then some of that can come back to me because he can fight for my issues better than I can. He's in a better position to protect me than I am.
This is where I feel bad for Trump supporters, and I know I shouldn't say it's like are you aware of what you're thinking?
They're fully aware. Well, most of them are fully aware. That's where I get so
drink the Kool-Aid.
Where I get so frustrated is that we are being told to look at these people and have pity on them, as though they're not rational enough to make their own decisions. They don't make that excuse for anybody else. Nobody else gets the benefit of the doubt like that. No, you don't look at the gang members and say he's a Crip because they seduced him into being a criminal and being a gangbanger. He doesn't get any compassion for that. They don't look at him and say, well, they groomed him from the time he was 12 years old, so he thought that was the path to go, and now here he sits in front of me for grand theft. No. You look at him and you say he's a gangbanger. But for these people who are following Trump, who are they stormed the Capitol. They did a domestic terror event. They have an entire network that propagates lies and stochastic terrorism. All of this is real. You don't build these things on mistake. You don't build these things because everybody is misled. People are intentionally following these things because they feel it, they believe it, and they support it. These are not innocent victims.
No.
And I get so frustrated with the mentality that we're supposed to look at them as they're being taken advantage of. They're not. They are paying for someone to advocate for them. And that group is advocating for them.
No, let me push back on one thing about that. They are being taken advantage of. They're just refusing to believe they're being taken advantage of. That's what it is.
They refuse
if you're a willing victim, you are not being taken advantage of. If you know it's not being taken advantage of, you are a willing participant. You have full agency.
The act itself is them being taken advantage of. So let me break it. So let me say it a different way. So let me say it a different way. The act of you being taken advantage of, and you know that you're being taken advantage of, does not erase the deal that you're being taken advantage of. Because for that to be a false statement is to say Trump had no idea that he's taking advantage of these people.
He's intentionally doing it.
He knows he's taking. But here's the thing.
But I'm talking about the people.
You're talking about
these people are not being taken advantage of because they're foolish.
No, and
they believe in what they believe in.
I disagree.
No, they believe in what they believe in. All
that
of
part
them.
I agree with.
There's a few. There's a few. But those are going to be the people that if you gave them an IQ test, it ain't that high. Sorry to say it, but it's the truth. But most of these people are very much intentionally following this because it feeds something they want. And they hear data. They hear the truth. They even have the access to go get it readily. Not like they got to go digging for it. And they intentionally avoid it. All of this is intent. If you're acting with intent, you are not being misled. If you're doing it out of blind trust because you grew up in like the people who get taken advantage of in churches or taken advantage of in some of these clubs and things and organizations, those people are victims. But because they're in a closed thing, right? It's like a little family unit thing. This is happening in broad daylight across the whole freaking country. And it's happening internationally. The same stuff happening in America is happening in Israel right now. It's been happening all over Europe around the same amount of time we've been dealing with Trump. So this is not accidental. This is a movement. These are people who are fighting to preserve what they think is their way of life. Those people are not victims here. These people are willing participants. They don't, and even if they're not, I'm going to say I don't agree with this, but even if they are being taken advantage of, would they give you that benefit of the doubt?
No.
No, we know that.
Absolutely not.
So why are you going to give it to them? How are you going to fight? How are you going to fight back for your rights, your freedoms, and your life if you're having pity on your enemy that has no pity for you? How are you going to win? How are you going to win that fight? Like literally, how are you going to win that fight?
All right, let me catch up on some comments because
somebody
think it feels. I ain't said I disagree with anything.
We not totally disagree. All I'm just saying is I hate to see people getting taken advantage of. Even if I totally disagree with them.
I don't like that.
I don't like people getting taken advantage of. I don't like a lady who is big. All right. Little old lady. All right. We're gonna use the nicest version of what we're up against. 73 years old. Children are grown, off doing their own thing. The whole life is they go to church and they come home. This is the atmosphere or attitude in the area that they're in. They've been sucked into like the Christian Broadcast Network kind of mind frame. If they're buying like moon rocks on the shopping network, right? Little old lady. She big. She don't like black people. She don't want to do nothing to them. She don't wish no ill on nobody. But don't you come in my yard, right? That kind of little old lady. And now she's giving money to this Trump campaign system because he's promising a return to what she remembers of her childhood. He's tapped into her nostalgia. Some would say that would present her as being a victim. He's playing on her emotion to get to her money. And her family is not there to help protect her from being sucked in. Some would say that would make her a victim. I would say you might make that case, but I won't agree with you because the only reason she's being sucked in is because of the bigotry that she holds. Her nostalgia is rooted in her bigotry. The nation she feels like she's losing is rooted in her bigotry. So she's willingly trying to invest back into a world that was hostile for you. How do you have pity for that?
Because you started the whole sentence off with she a 70-something-year-old.
Yeah, no, it's like, wait a minute. I just kept, maybe I'm just not ready to roll like that. And that's me.
I get exactly.
I'm not asking anybody to roll anything. All I'm asking y'all to do is answer the question. That's all I'm asking. Answer the question.
You look at the
it's not an easy question to answer.
Well, Tracy, if you look at the Emmett Tillman situation and the old
not
lady
an
that
easy
get
question
away,
to
and the
answer,
older
Theus.
and the older and the older that she gets, that's the excuse they use.
Oh no, she should
That's
be
the
put
old,
under the jail.
that's
She
the,
lied.
what's
She
the
caused
difference?
somebody's death.
What
Wait, what's her?
what exactly she's
People
old.
have died
She's,
behind this
she's
Trump movement. Ahmaud Arbery. These guys were Trumpers. The people who
Yeah, that's
stormed the Capitol and led to 140 officers being seriously injured and 5 leading to the, well, 4 I think died and 1 was the lady that got shot. People have died. They have died.
and they
So
use
I'm like, it's the
we
same
can't
force.
use the age thing on every situation because we need to look at what their root is like. It's the equivalent
You
of
gonna take the time to look at each individual's root?
yeah. No.
Will they do it for you? Will they do it for you?
Nope.
Will they do it for your mother, Marlon? Will they do that for your aunt, Tracy? Will they do it for you? And if you say, I can't be the same as them, I agree with you.
yeah, that's
But
what I'm
what I
saying.
still say to you is, are you willing to fight for your life? Are you willing to fight for your community? Are you willing to fight for this thing that we call home, which is America? If you are willing to fight for those things, answer my question. How do you fight when you are constantly seeking to pity the person who has no pity for you? How?
Right,
you have committed to losing before you've even begun to fight.
Amen. And let's move on. Because we're almost 3 hours into this show. Welcome back, Theus.
Sorry, y'all.
I skipped this person on purpose because this person been a little too busy for us. And apparently she's found time in her schedule. All of this is facetious. Trust me. I'm just messing with her. Hey, Susan.
Hey!
Trail into the show here, but what else am I going to do at 5 a.m.? It's over where Susan is right now. It's the springtime. She's back out in her garden. So by the time she gets
hopefully she getting some sleep.
It's 5 a.m.
Well,
Girl,
I understood exactly what she's saying. You've been out in the garden. You've been outside. You've been out in the sun. You've been out doing what you're supposed to do. Yeah, you'd be amazed at how fast the nights go by because your eyes ain't even twitching a little bit in the middle of the night when you're asleep. It's like, you're asleep? You're asleep. Okay, I get it. So, Susan, I'm just messing with you because I completely and utterly understand. I appreciate you staying up late as you can, but I also understand there are some things that's just like, nah.
Hey, I just got April 27th scheduled. April 27th. Circle on my calendar.
I agree with Theus on this. Most of these people are so full of hate and anger that when Trump came forward and gave a voice to their rage, pretty much. Just came to Theus' side on this. Well, if Theus talk long enough, that usually happens.